Hello everyone and welcome back to Austin Talks, where today we are talking about probably the most popular most popular movie of the year, being the Barbie movie. Now, this is actually completely wrecked the box office. This is actually above Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible. It is genuinely insane. So big credit for this one. So I'm just gonna review it. The reason I like this movie is because it's nothing than what I actually thought it would be. That's another reason why I think this movie has a lot of popularity. So without further ado, let's just get right into it. Now, I really do like the narrating that takes place in this movie, especially through the whole beginning narrative explaining what the Barbie narrative is. But I don't understand the opening scene of the kids looking up to her. I just didn't understand that concept. I don't think it was actually needed. But the only thing I think what was good was they've used such an icon that is still an icon to this day, because Barbies is still a wide range market. But I'm actually still not sure why this was in there. Helen Mirren actually delivered these lines really perfectly, and the British dry humour throughout the movie with this narrative is actually mental, which is one reason I actually thought this was quite funny. I thought that, the whole concept of the movie was really ambitious. And I think that's another reason it's the popularity. It's really high on the popularity scale, and I think that's one reason a lot of people really enjoyed the movie. Now, as someone who does have a daily routine, even if it's on a weekend or a regular day, I do have a daily routine. Her daily routine is literally the most perfectly normal routine, to the point where it's really uneasy. The whole point of Barbie Land is that everything's perfect and everything will be perfect. But what is weird is how perfect it is. Wakes up and says hi to everyone, and then gets dressed and has breakfast. Does her makeup, and then goes on a beach, goes on a car ride to the beach. It was just so well put together, it made me feel uneasy. And I also thought the concept of she is a doll, but I like the concept how she's eating breakfast, she's eating breakfast, but actually there's nothing in the bowl, and she actually didn't put any milk into it, which I thought was actually quite fascinating. I thought that was it's not something you'd actually see. And if only this was true in the real world. I don't actually have breakfast anymore. I just have a coffee or something. But it's just so unnatural that it's so natural. It makes you feel unnatural. That's if that makes sense. There is Ken, there is Barbie, and then there's just Alan. Now, I love the Mattel old doll references, because obviously Ken and Barbie were were a set alone, but then there was Alan, which was actually a different. I think it was still made by Mattel. It was just a different. What do you call it? It was a set of identity dolls that actually soon failed. But still to this day, Barbie and Ken are still a collection that still goes on. But Alan was Alan was a project that actually never got anywhere. And I like how they've actually integrated these references to actually how the history of the Barbie industry, which is it's sort of reflected when she goes into the real world, and to some extent they actually give give Alan a character arc, when he works with the Barbies to in order for them to get out of this mentality. Barbie is everything. He's just Ken. There's only one Alan, and I think they could do something with Alan. To be fair, it would be good to get an I Am Groot type series with Alan, because he is a meme, but he'd be a good meme to show off. And I think he could have some adventures of his own, because he had a bit of character growth, which is I think something they could really integrate well. Ken and Barbie's unusual relationship is very weird, to say the least. I mean, the relationship in Barbie lore is like Ken and Barbie are together, but to be honest, in this movie, this doesn't actually, like, they didn't really do much. And I actually liked it that way. It was explained that this would anger people, and it didn't really make sense for the two actors to kiss, which I completely understand. But it didn't actually really impact the movie, because it's not a movie about their relationship, which is what it usually is about. I mean, Barbie and Ken is usually about a love story, but no, I mean, it's a completely different message from what this movie is actually telling you. That's why I thought it was something that was actually a really good element that they set aside. It's like, I mean, Ken and Barbie like being together is sort of a stereotype. I mean, with every collection, there's always one with another, but I like how this movie has actually switched that up and saying Barbie is she is the hero, and Ken is just the helper. So yeah. Now the big blowout party, Barbie, like the big outblowy Barbie party. That's a really hard thing to say. Like the BBC. There was just this something about this scene that made you felt so happy and celebrative, even for literally no reason at all. It was actually really cool. And I mean, at this point of the movie, like, nothing major plot point wise has actually happened. So it's still like a good vibed atmosphere. So, and like when she like has her little, I guess, breakdown in this, like. But the way that the song was actually integrated into this, like, was like, watch me dancing right away. I really like that song. That's actually quite good. But like the whole atmosphere of Barbie world, that like it's just a whole atmosphere of good vibes, and it just like puts it into perspective how the real world is like not all cupcakes and rainbows, unfortunately, as much as we hoped it would, but it just unfortunately is not. Okay. After the big blowout party, she tells her friends that what she's been experiencing, and then they have to go to Weird Barbie. Now, if you look at it from like a heroic villainous perspective, you would think she would be the villain, but yeah, but never mind. The casting for this character was actually really well done, and she is kind of like she does kind of give me Harley Quinn vibes. To be honest, and I like the way she has been like involved into this Barbie roster, but she's still the odd one out. But they've integrated her and like every other Barbie with a sense of originality, which is one reason I think another reason this Barbie movie is like up there with a lot of movies. And in this context scene, yes, Barbie, the weird Barbie, is a therapist. She tries to tell her how to get over this. She helps Barbie with her problems mentally, and also changes into a fortune teller. So yeah, it's like somewhere between therapist and fortune teller. It's one of the two. And I do like her character and her humor, and I think is actually that humor is the best, other than Helen Mirren's. I mean, that's just undefeated. But it is kind of the only humor in the movie, which I think is one reason I like. I think they could have had a few elements with like for jokes. I mean, some elements were actually funny, and then some elements were like Deadpool unnecessary. But there's pure humor. See, I hate movies that try hard with their humor, and they just they try and meet too hard. And yeah. Barbie and Ken's car ride. Now this was funny because the times when Ken was trying to catch up with the rocket, show how he is the third wheel even in this singular person relationship. And Barbie is basically just in love with herself, and then he's still the third wheel somehow. I also love the meme with the rollerblades, because as Ken is goes nowhere without them. I thought that was actually quite funny. It's like, I go nowhere without them. I also like the transitions through the settings, like space, winter, and then the real world of planet Earth, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, when you go onto the outer skirts of the outskirts of Barbie Land, I actually wonder where this is, because this is apparently not Earth yet. So yeah, very confusing, I must say. I actually don't know where this was based. I think they are in California, but I'm not too sure. It's quite funny. It's like, lo and behold, we are now in California. Yes, welcome to the real world. The way that the real world has been shown was an amazing representation, as it showed what is wrong with the world and how much hope the world actually has. I mean, there's obviously some good people, like the protagonist, which is the... I'm calling her Amy Sosa, because that's what her name is in Superstore. But American Ferrari, I don't know how to say her last name. But yeah, she's like the good people in this world. And when Barbie says like the woman that she is beautiful and responds with "I know," that smile and interaction actually shows you there is good in this world, and there's actually some nice people. You just sometimes have to find them. But like, I think this movie's a good like window. Like, so there's a perfect world, then there is not a perfect world. We live in a world that is not perfect, but you have to, even in those in the not perfect world, you have to find those perfect moments, which is this scene. And sadly, it is, while this is accurate, it is unfortunately true as well. It's just something you have to accept. There's no denying it. Now, is Mattel the villain of the story? Easily, no. In the trailers, they are portrayed as the villains of the movie, but they're in this movie, they don't actually play a major role. To be fair, there's no villain at all. They mostly are used to explain the origin of Barbie and like what the industry was like before she was made, and what she was like even after she was made, and like what she actually what her true representation is. And I think it is something that should be shown in the case of this movie wouldn't be a thing without see, I think this would be too much of a controversial movie with if Barbie, it was just literally like a regular movie, not to do with Barbie. I think it would be completely different. But to be honest, they really aren't a villain. I mean, they're not a hero for sure, but they're just in a weird way showing how the certain aspects of life apply to Barbie, I guess, in some way. The cast and soundtrack of the movie. The cast and soundtrack of the movie were actually amazing. The cast was perfectly chosen. You can't go wrong. I mean, Ryan Gosling as Ken, then there is no doubt about that. That was actually good. And the Ken song, "I'm Just Ken," is probably one of the most popular things on TikTok right now. One of my best mates loves the song, and if you watch this video, like you always say you do, you'll know who you are. And I also like the Dua Lipa song, and how they actually integrated Dua Lipa into the mer person. The John Cena reference was actually so cool, because after I saw it, I actually searched up, I didn't search up, I just scrolled onto my YouTube shorts, and it said Margot Robbie knocked into him ran into him in a coffee shop. Was like, "Hey, we're on the set of Barbie. You want to shoot something?" I thought that was actually quite funny. And this movie is fun. It has funny casting aspects, but it's actually perfect. Some of them are hype stunts. You know how I feel about them, but actually some of them are perfect. I mean, Margot Robbie, later on in the movie, they say, "You're trying to portray this, but you have Margot Robbie as the actor. That's a weird choice." But she is one person to play them all. But I like how they've got different actors for different type of Barbies. I think that's an amazing idea. Now, what is Barbie in the real world? Now, this is actually taken from the internet. This is So Barbie is portrayed as a figure of feminine stereotypes, which is seen when Sasha roasts her when she goes into a Mattel headquarters, and she is brutalized by the male dominance in the Congress. In some sort of way, this is from me now, Ron, in some sort of way, in the end, Barbie is depicted as just a regular person, but a regular girl, but showing that a female can be anything. This is where I like to come in. I like to come in here. Now, this is shown with Emma Mackey's Barbie, where she is actually a physicist and she's taken out of that trance. But that trance is that is a feminine stereotype. When she comes back to Barbie Land, but then when she's taken out of that trance-like state, she is the physicist that I mean, I obviously I'm a bit biased because of physicist, but that's the message I got. Do let me know if you got a message differently, but that is how I saw it. So yeah. Now, who is Ruth? Now, when she was revealed in the middle of the story, I had literally no clue who she was, but she definitely had those vibes where you knew exactly she was gonna be someone she was gonna be someone important, and it was revealed at the end she brought like a warmth to the story, and I think that was actually. She was like she guided Barbie through like her whole troubles, and she was another character who symbolizes even a slight sense of hope in the storyline can make a big difference. And it's the same applies in the real world. Even the slightest bit of hope can make a difference. You can tell Ruth was someone important from the very start, and she did not disappoint for sure. And I must say though, it was not what I was thinking. I didn't think she would be like the owner and like the person who created Barbie. I think that's just an amazing integration element, I must say. Traveling with a Barbie fangirl. I like how they hyped the woman, how they hyped this woman up, but then it was just like she's basically in my mind she's now just the Barbie fangirl. Mainly because I can't remember her name. I think it's Gloria. I could be wrong. During the story, I genuinely thought it was like the daughter who needed the spirit lifting, but she was the most vicious out of the group. So I really guessed it's not her. And it is funny because the dad and the mom are literally nothing like their daughter. Their daughter genuinely there is no shared genes. I mean, we only saw the dad speaking another language, so I don't know what he's like, but nothing like her mum. I can tell you that for a fact. I mean, the way she bonds with Barbie immediately, I thought it was actually kind of cute and funny. It was just weirdly, and then also the bond was weirdly generic. I mean, Sasha was like, "You realize you just invited a Barbie into our car," and then the mother's just like, "I don't care. I like this Barbie." It was just weirdly generic. But that's actually why I really like their interactions. But when they go to Barbie Land, that was actually really sad. Ken's character development. Now, from being the person who was never noticed to being like a brainwashed warlord, almost was it was a really weird thing to see. I was not expecting it from Ken at all. And it was really weird thing to see, but it also brings me back to how when he was in the real world and that they thought that it was ruled by men. It is not. It is very much not. And he goes back to Barbie world and actually just says this, and then we're like, oh no, we have to follow that then, which is not true. It's just stupid. And in some way, this has actually really annoyed me, and I wanted Ken to redeem himself instantly. And yes, while it took a while, my boy came around. Ken came around, so I'm happy. Yes, it is Gloria. I remember it is Gloria. Now, this actor, she is really underrated. I don't know why she's not in any big movies. I mean, she's in this movie, but she needs to be in more. Now, I've watched Superstore, and fun fact, I actually am watching Superstore for a second, for I don't know how many times now. I'm watching it again right now, and she's so good in it. She's actually such a good character, and I must say there's barely any difference in their characters. Because they're still both loving characters and they still love their daughter. They have a great bond with their daughter. But she was depressed. But when she had a Barbie, she was actually really happy. And while maybe not the same, and maybe that's not the same, but they are in the same in the sense of they're loving and they care. Their personalities are very much the same. And I like her as an actor. She's very nice. I've seen her in interviews. She's very nice. That I'm actually glad to see she's in a bigger movie because she really deserves it. Her acting is very underrated, and I do want to see her in bigger movies and not just the biggest movie in the year. I'd rather her be in more. I know she's gonna be in Elio, the movie the movie coming out next year. It's the Pixar one, but that's all I know from now on. Oh yeah, the Kens versus the Kens. I have a question: who is the better Ken? The suits like they were used were actually really amazingly picked, but stupidly picked as well. Like some of the only items in this movie weren't pink. Like I must say, so there's a very good representation here. The only thing that is pink is everything that's being destroyed in this image. The sand being kicked, the ornaments with like the sunbeds. Those are being. I've just realized in the background that there is a pink Lady Liberty. That is funny. But like in the storyline, it just reinforced the idea that men can fight, but I'm actually not sure. This scene is it's very weird. And whilst it is just basically pointless, it is funny, goofy, everything I would expect from a group of Kens, and to be fair, I'd expect it from a Barbie movie. So like, as much as this has really good like earthly equality messages, I like how they're still like having goofs like this. So yeah. Now the Barbie world ending. This was good to see Ruth return as a guide for Barbie, and how everyone came back and was now in a happy state. Everyone is now she's president and all that. But this also showed that Ken's final stage as the title was no longer Barbie and Ken. It's now I'm just Ken. Now, I like his character, but best in the movie, he is definitely the best in the movie, and definitely can have an arc on his own. I think he could have his own movie in the next one. I think that's like, have it as a trilogy. I don't know who you'd have in the next one. Like, maybe you could have Barbie and Ken. I don't know, but like, the ending was fitting, and I love how like, a person who digs into these things, I dig into like these plot leaks, and those are like, yeah, but I didn't actually think this was going to happen. I did not know, I mean, this movie so throws you for a loop, and I think this is why some people did not expect. They did not know what they were getting into. That is for sure. Yeah, the real world ending. Yeah, I don't know how to spell that. Yeah, it was weird to see Barbie as a human, and that she was chose to be human. But I also like the scene where it's like she's flashback to how she's affected many people. I mean, Barbie is like something that has been going on for years, and it has brought so much joy to people, because like when you have a Barbie doll, you can be anything you want. I mean, to be fair, anyone can be anyone they want. They can if they try. It's the same with me and my GCSEs. There's no denying that. But but what could she do as a real person? Even though she's, I mean, if she's made that much of an impact as a doll, what could she do as a person? I do think that is something that should be explored. I mean, you could have Ken be like, what happened to Barbie? Finds out and then goes to try and save her and meets her what she's like. If you ask me, I think she could be a real icon. Get it? Real icon? Really? That was a great joke, I can't lie. But more than she actually already is in this world, Barbie is from my perspective, she's a hopeful icon for people can be whatever they want to be, but it just depends on how you look at it. Now, what is the point of the movie? This movie, in my opinion, was a movie that informed you of the traditional and problems that go on in the world, like social inequalities and more. It is, and I think the whole storyline with Barbie is mainly just a cover, because a lot of people watch it, but the way it has been done is amazing. The integration of each element, it is an amazing. And it is a well executed movie. It's not a movie I would watch again. It's one of those movies you're glad you've seen, because then you understand it from a different perspective. This movie does give you more than one perspective. You give it from the males and the females. And to be fair, from the male perspective, it does not seem fun. I ain't gonna lie to you. And from Barbie's perspective, it does put you in a really, I genuinely, my heart was melting when this happened, because it was genuinely just sad, because it is true. Unfortunately, it is true. And it was a well executed movie. Yeah, okay, I'm not trying to be brutal here. it's just an 8.4 in my books. Now, while this is a movie, I personally wouldn't watch it myself, or again, I mean that in a nice way. I like the way that this portrays a call to action. This will influence a lot of people to make it some sort of effort to continue, to change these social inequalities. And people who are wondering if there should be a Ken movie, I'd say yes, because that can send a separate message that is just as valuable as the one that is in this. The thing is, this franchise is sitting on a pillar of valuable messages. So they could literally do everything. So I think that is one thing I think they should look into. And I do really like this movie. It's not a movie I'll watch again, but it is well executed, well put together, and it has definite potential for the future. Oh, there are fan theories? Huh? Okay. Now, with Ken's newfound independence, it may be a case where we get a movie or a series based around him, and then they could recreate like a Barbie cinematic universe almost. Yeah, I can see that happening from a mile away. Ken had an amazing story arc in this movie, and his new independence would be a great way to show a new positive side to the character. Barbie Land. Wait, what? Yeah, no, I just said that. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, comprehende, Austin, yes. Now, Barbie Land isn't what you think. Barbie Land is an alternate reality where everything is perfect, but in fact the snow is a gateway into another world filled with fantasy-like places, one of them being Barbie Land. When I heard the word snow, I thought we were going to talk about Elsa for a second. This could open doors for many other crossovers, maybe like Barbie and Wednesday, but something along those lines. What? Okay. In the movie, there was a preview of a movie theater that was showing The Wizard of Oz. This could have been an early movie Easter egg to show that she was about to embark on a similar journey that Dorothy embarked on in that movie, that life isn't perfect, it is wicked. Right. I saw that on TikTok. Yes, that is seen, yes. That Wednesday, that Barbie and Wednesday crossover one hurt my brain. The Ken movie number 1, Dorothy number 2, the Wednesday, I'm still trying to get my head around that one. That gave me a headache. Crossovers with Barbie and Wednesday. Yeah, that gave me a headache. It's a good theory, but a mind bender. Right, everyone, that'll be the end of today's video. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you actually go and see this movie. It is a worthwhile movie to go and see. And I know I didn't upload this week because of my first week back at school, trying to keep things slow, and I need to organize when I'd actually do planning videos, because obviously I have more important things to things. So I'm trying to do as much as I can, but obviously that may not be possible soon. So everyone, I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one on Monday. Bye.